tell you feel about it.
Nah. Oh, we're live?
We're live. Let me get over here.
Get your ears on. Except I'm going to be lame as shit because I haven't had an actual Rammstein cert in years because the ones that I did have just gave out.
Yeah.
I can't find one anywhere.
He's going to see Rammstein Saturday, and I couldn't go
I tried.
because I have a family function.
I tried like hell to get out of it.
Yeah, only because it's in Chicago.
That's really it, man. If it was in India, I wouldn't have even thought any different about it.
We are missing something.
Oh yeah, we might need the monitor.
I'm unprepared.
Which, interestingly enough, Rammstein could tie into the topic tonight.
Yeah?
Because
Da.
I make... Yeah.
Da.
Das, the Russians.
Das me. Alright, let's see which... We weren't ready.
Nope.
It's okay, though.
Is that the monitor or the camera doing that weird green?
The weird green right here?
No, this... Oh, never mind. It stopped. There it went again. I think that's a reflection of the TV.
It could have been. Alright, I don't think we have it tonight.
What?
Which actually... technical dillities.
Oh, Lord. You got Andrew Tate on the... thumbnail. You're kidding.
Breathe air!
Breathe air! You know what? Like many Andrew Tate moments, though, like, he's got a point.
He does.
Like, not to sling dookie at any of our viewers that vape, but almost everyone I know that vapes does what he's talking about. It's like every couple seconds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, it's almost more annoying than, like, just regular smoking. Because it's constant. Which I get it. It's water vapor. Like, you can take it everywhere. But I think that's what's messing with it. Because you can take it anywhere. So you don't have to stop. It's not like you're done with a cigarette. And then you're done. And you either light another one or...
It is what it is, John.
It is the story of a girl.
Of a man named Brady. Like, what is going on with this thing? If you want to segue into this while I figure this out.
Es ist kaputt.
It's either one or two. I can't figure it out.
I cannot figure it out. I cannot figure it out, Captain. Scotty, I need the view screen. Please.
Get those tribbles out of your pants.
There it is. Off the starboard bow.
Jesus criminy, eh? I wonder how many viewers we lost there. None.
Because we didn't get none.
We didn't get none. Alright, so... I think
Unlike Captain James T. Kirk, who gets alien tail at every corner of the universe.
Our audio works.
Yes, it does.
This is getting off to a... Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Did someone say getting off?
Alright, we're good. Back to the lecture.
I can assure you we are not good.
We are not good. We are never good. Boy, that air feels great.
That microphone just bumped me right in the chest.
It bumped me in the chest.
It bumped me in the boobie.
It said diddly doo boop.
Anyway, Andrew Tate is innocent. Donald Trump is innocent.
That's scary to hear you say that. He's not innocent.
No. See, this is what is
what
called...
What of the crime and bullshit they're portraying?
This is what is known as a joke. You see, sometimes people say things that they don't actually mean for comedic effect.
I agree, sir.
Actually, depending upon the context of what we're talking about, they may in fact be innocent. But you have to be specific.
I think I'm going to have to scoot forward and lean back so it looks even. Your chair, you look so
I've always been the short guy in the group, which is hilarious because I've said this before, is like, I always thought I was short. I'm actually not that short.
No,
it's just that
you're average.
I'm a little above average, actually. I'm taller than Tom fucking Cruise. That little midget fuck. Anyway, like, I always thought I was short and small, though, because I hung around with a bunch of giants.
It was your group of friends.
They were all you guys were pushing 6 feet in, like, what, freshman, sophomore year?
No, actually, it was junior year that I started to sprout.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, because I was probably like 5'5".
There was
5'10".
one other person in our friend group that ended up being under 6 feet, I do believe. Maybe Chris is just a hair under 6 feet.
Yeah.
He might be 5'11". I know he's a hair taller than me. So he's probably 5'11". But then again, my 13-year-old nephew was 5'11".
Our other friend, Anthony, he actually got fairly tall.
God damn it.
When's the last time you saw him?
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah. He ended up getting like 5'9", 5'10".
Well, damn it, I'm 5'10". I need something. I was 5'7" for ages, and then I finally sprouted up another couple inches.
See, I did too, because I was only barely 6 foot in 2006, around graduation. And then between graduation and about another year and a half, I grew almost another 2, which, isn't unprecedented.
You gotta love it.
It happens a lot.
You gotta love it when you grow another 2 inches.
Dude, it really fucked with my knees. Those 2 inches, they make it heavier.
Just all that extra. Anyway, we do have a lot to talk about tonight. What was the title? I didn't read that.
Oh my gosh.
I was too distracted.
This title is stupid.
Oh, geez, I can see it.
I just figured...
Andrew Tate, censorship, Democrats, and Republicans. Let's unpack. Oh, geez, yeah, we got a lot to unpack. Hope your knees are ready for all the unpacking we're going to do. That sounded a little dirty. Didn't mean it to.
It did sound dirty, but it's okay.
But it's unpacking, so it's like not dirty.
Hey, look. They're not fucking with us anymore. We actually got a notification.
Yeah, they were. YouTube? Where's that? YouTube?
I've never got.
I usually get the notification.
Oh.
Usually, but there were a couple times where I didn't.
It might be because I had it turned off.
But speaking of censorship, I guess we want to tackle Trump first.
Yeah, sure.
Holy crap. So, well, more specifically the FBI, but
You
it
got some
relates.
notes on 'em?
I got a whole page of notes.
Since we have this format, I may bring back my old microphone.
Yeah,
because I don't like having headphones on talking to you.
It is
it's because I don't have my microphone turned up so I can hear you and me.
Yeah.
There we go.
But so I have no idea how you pronounce this guy's name, but from what I heard, Timothy Thibault was the top-level FBI agent that resigned recently due to... Well, see, here's the thing, and this is how, I don't know which side is accurate, because, the traditional media is saying, he resigned, or rather retired, in the midst of some controversy on Hunter Biden, but, this was in 2 articles that I read. I think one was MSNBC and one was The Hill. It mentioned, he was mired in this controversy, but he was also, he was also at retirement age, whatever that means. I didn't know there was an age where you had to retire from the FBI, but that's what they made it sound like. And again, it's very...
There isn't.
It's very unclear language. It's it's purposefully deceptive. And here's the thing. I'm giving everything a grain... Because the right-wing media are like, oh yeah, he's being pushed out because of the Hunter Biden... He deliberately shut down the Hunter Biden investigation. I don't know if that's true.
I think it's fallout. Because he's
here's the thing.
Running before the fallout happens.
This is purely because I'm not right or left. I'm probably, these days, I'm definitely...
You're very centrist.
Well, but these days, I'm definitely leaning a little bit more right, but it's not because I'm inherently right-leaning. It's just
because the graph is getting further
it's because of the optics. Because, I'm looking at this. The timing is very suspicious. It's right in the midst when that Republican senator, I've got his name right here, Chuck Grassel, accused him of improper conduct in the Hunter Biden investigation during a hearing, and then shortly thereafter, because that wasn't that long ago, that was a couple months ago, and now he's all of a sudden retiring. And I looked at the picture of this dude, like he's older, but I wouldn't call him elderly. Like, he's way before J. Edgar Hoover. Well, J. Edgar Hoover died, I believe. I don't even think he officially retired. But let's assume for a moment that he did. He was certainly older than this guy. I'd be willing to bet money. And I'm not going to get on my phone to check it because it's, it takes time. I'm willing to bet, though, that there are I'm willing to bet that the FBI has employees now that were older than this guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he was definitely, and the president's older than he is, so don't give me that as an excuse to retire. Fauci's older than this guy is, so don't give me that excuse.
Didn't Fauci just retire?
Just now, though.
Yeah.
Because what is he, 82?
What was his excuse why he retired?
He's older than fuck?
No, he didn't say that. He said something about
I'm tired of all the media lies and pandering.
Listen, if he is willing to just now get out, that means something is about to happen and people are exiting positions and they are attempting to save their asses because indictments are coming up. They're talking about indicting Trump.
Yeah, and here's the other curious thing, and this is why the optics are so suspect. So this agent miraculously quits. Not miraculously, like suddenly decides to retire, which, whatever, maybe it was just time. I find the timing a little suspect, but coincidences happen all the time. But then on top of that, like you brought up Fauci, like the pandemic's not over according to them, yet he's okay retiring.
Of course.
What you see and what you hear they don't mesh.
They're not cohesive.
They're not concurrent.
They're not covalent bonds.
What the fuck do they say about a covalent bond around here?
Underrated comedian.
I just rewatched both of those recently.
I haven't seen 22nd Jump Street in a long time. I've seen
fuck you, science.
But so with Fauci exiting and what's the FBI guy's name?
Timothy
Tebow,
I believe.
Okay, so with him exiting, I'm telling you, these people are attempting to get out before fallout. And I don't mean like nuclear fallout, like that shit, but
just on the off chance that a Republican wins the White House, or I'm sorry, not the White House. If the Republicans take control of Congress,
if they take control of the House.
Well,
House and Senate. I mean,
I suspect they're going. And see, this is where you and I differ. And watch closely, kids, because you're about to see two people disagree on a fundamental issue, and yet
without being idiots,
not get mad, not ruin a. Oh God, how long have we been friends? Almost 20 years. No,
longer.
I think. Yeah, it has been longer, hasn't it?
We were like 12.
Not even. I think we were like
23, 24 years.
24 years. 24-year friendship about to not get ruined over politics. I do not want both houses of Congress to be owned by either political party.
And I can agree with you.
Just on principle.
I can agree with you if this were a normal atmosphere right now. If this were a normal atmosphere and everything was fine, economic-wise, and, inflation was, somewhat at a, not a standstill, but, at a manageable level. But the only reason I disagree with you right now, because normally, you've talked about it enough, it makes me think that it is a good idea. But we need everything right now because these guys are literally spinning us to death. And,
I'm getting closer and closer to that camp. I guess if I had a guarantee that it would only
until it's all. But the thing is, then it's a slippery slope.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the.
But if they do good, and that's the thing, if they do well, and they keep up their end of the bargain, and they keep everything rolling, nicely, and everything's fine, they'll get voted back in. If you do your job.
Well, you like.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Fuck you, viewers. You don't like political talk?
Oh, well, everybody loves political talk. It's all we talk about these days. But
like, these guys don't know what they're talking about. It's like, no, you.
No, neither. But here's the thing: neither does anybody else. Because
exactly.
you cannot. like, and there are some things, I'll get back to that in a minute, but there are some things when I was doing research that were frustrating as hell to me because I just wanted a straight answer and I could not get one because of the nature of this whole debacle. But
Debauchery.
back to the point about Congress, and my dream scenario, I found that just at least as long as I've been alive, this is when things worked the best for me anyway, is Republicans control the House, Democrats control the Senate, and then you flip-flop presidential parties every 8 years. That seems to create a sense of homeostasis that a lot of people don't like because there's
Checks
a lot
and balances,
well,
yes.
a lot of people don't like it because there's a lot of gridlock, but I like the gridlock because if you've got two opposing houses of Congress and a White House that fluctuates between Democrat and Republican, actually what I love is Republicans controlling the House, Democrats controlling the Senate, and a libertarian in the White House all the time. I would love that. That'd be great. Just put Ron Swanson in the White House for life.
Is he libertarian?
Oh, hardcore. Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Now, see, if libertarians, all of them, had the same view, that would be fine.
Dude, I got it.
Let's just freaking factions.
Let's just put libertarians controlling all of it because they'll fight enough amongst themselves. That'll be constant gridlock.
See, that's the problem I have. I don't identify with any party. I identify with good ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and there are things that libertarians say that I think is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they get really bent out of shape on roads. I'm like, I like roads. I like public roads. It's simple, guys. It's easy. I really don't have an... And that's probably not even 1% of the budget.
I know this sounds crazy.
And we still can't get decent roads.
You want to know what would go over very well? I firmly believe this. What would go over very well?
Executing corrupt politicians? That is not a call to violence. That is a joke.
Yes. But...
they would have to
be
convicted.
Stop corruption. Well, actually, that's not true.
You know what, though?
I'm sorry. They're not afraid of...
Not to get off topic, but I will say, like, this is worth mentioning, is, like, I made that joke, and yet there are people in the space on this very website that we're broadcasting to that call for violence all the time, but they don't get in trouble. Why? Because they are progressive.
It's who they're talking about.
Kathy Gifford held up not really Trump's head, but
she did.
She thought that shit was funny.
She didn't get in trouble per se, but she did get invested by the FBI, and it scared the shit out of her, and she apologized.
But honestly, like, let's be real. I don't care who you are. That could have been Clinton's head. That could have been Joe Biden's head. That could have been Obama's head. I don't give a shit. That ain't cool. Like, that's too far because it's not a joke.
No.
Like, that's not funny. I will forgive anything if it's actually funny, but that was political pandering to the nth degree, and, like, again, she didn't really get in trouble for it. So,
not per se.
But I was just kind of like, who's down with this? And if somebody is down with this, that would make me nervous about that person.
I mean, they do that shit all the time. Like,
I know they do.
Like at rallies and whatnot, and it's like, I'm not trying to say there aren't conservative.
Sure, there are.
People that, like, carry around, like, dead dolls of Biden or something like that.
Sure there are.
But the thing is, though, like, how often do you see it versus the other side?
Oh, precisely.
You know, I'm not trying to say they don't, because I know there are idiots out
there.
Well,
that would just be naive and
especially
foolish.
Make America great again, all the red hat wearing people.
And don't worry, when it gets closer, particularly if Trump's running, when it gets closer to presidential election season, we got something. We beat up the left on one episode. Don't worry, the right's going to get their due. It's going to be a fun one. But here's the difference, though. I think that people on the left will be more offended with our parody of the Antifa characters than I think more Trump supporters will at least find it funny what we're going to do.
I would hope so.
I have seen, generally speaking, Republicans tend to have a better sense of humor these days. This used to not be the case. Like, used to be even the bluest of Democrats would still laugh at a Clinton joke.
Yeah, I did not take a pill today, just FYI. But no, that's the thing. Classic liberals have a sense of humor, but it's gotten so bad. Like, I mean, hell, like...
it gets us through the day, man.
Tim Pool, I would say he's classic liberal.
To me,
Joe Rogan as well.
To me, Tim
He's
Pool,
a little too far, in my opinion, on certain things.
Well, to me, Tim Pool is leaning a little bit more towards the right these days.
Because as of once again,
correct,
the spectrum is getting further and further.
kind of like how I'm doing. If you were to judge me, even
they call Tim Pool far right. It's like, okay,
that's hilarious. But even if you were to compare me today to even when Obama was in office, I'm probably more right leaning now than I was then. But again, because the left is no longer center left, it's now for the most part far left.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the right's gone that far. I think the majority of the right, because there's always
there's always going to be extremists.
I think that the right-leaning people are actually closer to the center these days because, again, we're old, and we're not that old, but we're old enough to remember, like, when, if you were a Republican, you were staunchly anti-gay marriage. Like, staunchly. It was part of the platform.
But nowadays...
But so were a lot of Democrats, at least elected. Well, no, nowadays and this is a good thing, and this is probably why I identify a little bit more with the Republican Party, because they've seemed to adopted parts of libertarian philosophy. Compare old Ben Shapiro to new Ben Shapiro, you'll see it. You know,
he has a sense of humor now.
And I'm so proud of him.
He's come a long way.
He learned how to laugh.
But what you were saying though about what was your point before?
My point is that now I would say the Republican Party as a whole, you know, barring the Marjorie Taylor Greens, although we're going to talk about her in a little bit, you know, and
she's coming around.
She's coming around.
She's coming around.
I think she just needs what Trump needed. She needs somebody to like pinch her when she's starting to go too far.
Her problem was that she was trying to be the right AOC.
Yeah, 100%.
And just be.
And I don't think that was all her fault. I think she was coached.
Probably.
Because I don't think any of these people are, for the most part, I don't think any of them are smart enough to come up with this.
Little sub point. Don't let me let you forget or anything. But little sub point with gay marriage. This is funny because in 2000, what was it? 2008 to 2012 or no. Okay, the first presidency of Obama. They were very against gay marriage.
Publicly, yeah.
Him and Joe Biden. They said it. And then all of a sudden they flip-flopped after 4 years, and then they started doing the transgender bathrooms and doing all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it was hilarious how quickly that.
Yeah. So it's like they definitely were not trying to appease one side.
Well, no, and I always point out that Trump is the first president in U.S. history who has been I wouldn't even say pro, but has been not unopposed to gay marriage upon assuming office.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he is what people think he is.
Well, no, but here's the point. I don't think Trump is a champion of gay rights, but he doesn't give a shit.
No, that's the thing. His idea is if it makes money, I like it.
Pure libertarian philosophy. I want gay marijuana farmers to be able to defend their crops with automatic weapons.
Yeah, bring back the automatic weapons.
Less. Well, and see, here's...
Everyone thinks that, like, just because there's not... all right, this is the thing. I'm very pro-Second Amendment. You're very pro-Second Amendment. But the thing is, I don't own a weapon.
I don't own one.
If automatic weapons suddenly became legal again, I'm not going to run out and go get one.
I don't know, dude. They're a lot of fun.
I'm not saying they're not
fun. They're fun.
I'm saying just to have one. Like, now, if there was, like, something crazy happening, you know, and this and that, like...
That's almost why I want a weapon, which I don't have. FBI, don't have one yet. But that's almost why I want one, is just in case something happened. Because then, what's the first thing? You're going to want to stock up on food, water, gas, and weapons. If anything bad happens, anything catastrophic happens, those are your first four. Even before shelter, really. Because if you can't.
Speaking of gas, I didn't go fill up a Circle K.
Oh.
Did you see that? Circle K was offering off 40 cents today and tomorrow. Today it was from 4 to 7. Tomorrow is from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. I'm assuming all across the country. But Circle K is offering off 50 cents tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Off a gallon? Well, I mean, it doesn't matter for you. But it matters for me because I have to pay for my gas.
Well, I mean, I'll still take it.
I mean, you still...
I was going to say, at the end of the day, I still pay for it.
But anyway, so yeah.
So, but yeah, the big long-winded point is that to me, it seems like the majority, and there are still sane people, I don't even want to say on the left, but on left-leaning people that are still what I would consider sane. I think maybe just a touch misguided on certain issues. Because, like, some of this stuff just doesn't make sense. Like, I'm being real with you. If you think that Joe Biden has been positive for the economy, I don't know what you're looking at. You're certainly not looking at your paycheck. You're certainly not looking at your gas pump.
401k. I mean,
yeah.
Just saying. I mean, if you're just a little small guy trading, stocks or crypto, or even just own stocks and crypto, I know a lot of you motherfuckers are down, and it's like, if you still think he's doing a good job, just look at your portfolio.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think he was ever doing a good job.
No, ever.
I just don't understand how you could think that, because at the end of the day, you may not agree with Trump, but you can't deny, like, just look at the numbers. 5% unemployment.
Well, and that's the thing. We would have not stayed shut down.
This is prior to COVID, obviously.
I know. I'm saying, like, after the election, if Trump would have won, we would have not stayed shut down. He would have opened stuff back up.
Well, technically, the federal government never shut anything down. Certain states did.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, though. That they would have been like, open up your cities, and then all the Republican states would have opened up, and they would have flourished. And I'm going to step on a limb.
They pretty much did, though.
I'm going to step on a limb and assume, because I am not a medical professional, but I'm going to assume with herd immunity would have been gained quicker.
Probably.
If we would have done that. And the thing is, it would have been gained quicker with people with stronger immune systems. Now, the people with weaker immune systems, just like always, what's the number one thing you should do? Stay away from sick people if you have a terrible immune system. If not, I mean,
well, and in the event
we used to have chickenpox parties back when we were kids, and then before that, we didn't actually have them, but like
I was going to say,
I'm saying, like
I know I've heard of them.
They used to have them,
yeah,
but like nowadays they get a freaking vaccine for it, and
well, I can see the allure of that. We had this conversation in that group chat. I see the allure of the chicken. I never understood it, but now it's like, oh yeah, that'll help prevent, or it allegedly helps prevent shingles. I don't know, because you can't prove it though, because I don't know how old the chickenpox vaccine is, but I don't think it's that old.
Not that old. Maybe 10 years.
I was going to say, I don't think anyone who's got it's old enough to have gotten shingles, so we really don't know yet. But I mean, here's the thing, like, but again, that's a cost-benefit analysis, because I would rather not get shingles, and if I had the opportunity to not get shingles, I would take it.
Well, I've never had chickenpox.
Yeah, exactly. So, but my point is, like, to me, that's worth it. To me, something like the COVID vaccine, it's worth it. At least not in its current state. But I felt the same way about the flu shot. I'm not saying don't get a flu shot. Some people have to get a flu shot if you work in the medical field, and I get that because the flu sucks. And
I think you got lucky getting the Johnson & Johnson.
Oh, and I completely did it for selfish reasons. I said it on, I did say it on the podcast. It might have been deleted, but you can listen to it on Spotify.
Which actually, we need to see if we can get that back. Since they took away misinformation about masks and whatnot, about that. That's bullshit.
It's old news, though.
But regardless, though, it's bullshit.
It is bullshit, but you know what? I think it serves us better for us to keep talking about how we got booted for no good reason.
But that right there, though, like,
I
understand it's their platform.
I am eventually going to put clips on it. Maybe I should just be a smart ass.
Is that a suitable offense?
I mean, technically, yes. We just don't have the money.
Yeah, we don't have the lawyers that YouTube has. I know lawyers.
Yeah, I know them. I just can't afford them.
Several of them.
I know quite a few lawyers, but they're all like, "Yeah, you still got to pay."
My old boss, his entire family he married into is lawyers, and they're very powerful lawyers.
Yeah.
Now that will they do anything for me? Probably not.
Not for free.
Not for free.
You got to pay, bitch.
You will pay.
Let's see. But yeah, so the special agent. He was special agent in charge of the Washington field office, which means he was in charge of D.C. and Northern Virginia. So this is a big position. He's not the director, not the deputy director, but he's up there. And he would certainly have the authority to kibosh an investigation, particularly because he oversees the D.C. jurisdiction. Okay. So he could have very well been like, yeah, this Hunter Biden thing, we're not. And unless the director orders him to, but the director would just be like, oh, is this... Because the FBI director is a busy dude. We're talking monitoring operations all over the country.
Well, I mean, regardless, though, they're calling for his resignation.
Yeah, because
the FBI.
I can't imagine that after the Hunter Biden thing and the Trump thing, if there was something fishy going on, I can't see him keeping his job. I just can't see it. And here's the biggest problem of all this. Now, again, if the FBI uncovers something legit, then it's a different story. But the optics of this, unless you're just completely blind to it, it really looks like even if Trump legitimately did something wrong, much like I said during his entire presidency, even up to his election, he was scrutinized so much more. What? Kill it?
Yeah.
He was scrutinized so much more. Boom. He was scrutinized so much more than any other president I could think of. Maybe Lincoln, but obviously I wasn't alive, so.
Nixon?
Nixon was scrutinized after the fact, but not while he was being elected.
Yeah, because until Watergate came about, like, he was...
And see, there was something there, right? Something was afoot there.
What was the deal with Watergate?
So basically, they broke into the... It wasn't the DNC headquarters. It was... Or maybe it was. There were important documents being stored at the Watergate Hotel, and people from from Nixon's camp broke in and basically, I don't think they stole I could be wrong here because, again, I'm not going to look this up, but they gained access to secret documents that were important to the strategy for the Democratic Party.
Okay.
Now, the problem is he got caught. Thanks to Deep Throat. That's an old Family Guy reference, but...
Anytime I hear Deep Throat, I think of X-Files.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever watch all of it? Or
no.
A decent amount of it?
I've seen some of the X-Files.
Deep Throat was a character on there. He was within the first or two second season. He died. He was murdered.
Did he bang Scully?
No.
Good.
That was reserved for Mulder.
I was going to say, that's Mulder's chick.
Not for a very long time.
No.
It was like, geez, man, y'all ever like get to it? And
no.
It took till like 6 seasons.
And then didn't Scully die?
No. None of them died. They just had a new movie and a new season in 2017.
Oh. Huh. I don't know why I thought Scully died.
2018, I can't remember.
I'm probably getting
it wasn't very good. So
I'm getting it confused.
And plus, Bill, what's his name? Duchovny?
Oh, the guy who played Mulder.
Is it Bill?
I can't remember his name.
I know it was Duchovny.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he just looks so old. Like he like within 10 years just got very old.
That happens though, man. You gotta watch that.
People.
What I loved him in Evolution though. Did you ever see Evolution, dude? That movie gets so much hate, but I love that movie.
It's ridiculous how hot it gets in here. That voice.
I know, right? That's insane.
I was trying to go without it, but it's so loud.
Nah, man, I think you gotta keep that thing on. It is ridiculous how hot that gets. But yeah, dude, Evolution is a hidden gem. If you haven't watched it, it perfectly encapsulates... When did that come out? Like 2001? Or I think it was the late 90s, I believe. It kind of perfectly encapsulates the late 90s, early 2000s. It's very much a product of its time.
I'm about to go back and rewatch
Orlando. My favorite bit is when the bug gets inside Orlando Jones. He's like, it's going up to the groin. Take the leg! Because at first he's like, don't let him take my leg. He's like, it's heading up to his groin. Take it! Take the leg! And they get it out because they have to go in through his butt with tongs and get it out.
Oh my god!
And then they get it out, and then afterwards it's like, what can we get you? He's like, I like some ice cream. He's like, okay, what flavor? It doesn't matter. It's for my ass. Oh, and then he's giving him grief when they sneak into the alien area and they're wearing the suits. And he's like, "Oh, Ira, woo!" Movie is funny.
So, let's just.
Well, I got a little bit more on the FBI.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
So just to, after that really long and ridiculous, I guess it wasn't a full tangent, but. So the FBI is currently coming under fire for the Mar-a-Lago raid, And apparently there are numerous whistleblowers that are alleging fabrication of terrorism cases to elevate performance statistics for the FBI. Now, it's unclear as to whether this first of all, let me just clarify. It's unclear as to whether this is true. These are alleged whistleblowers who obviously haven't been identified because this is why I hate anonymous sources, because it's like you're supposed to have journalistic integrity, but these days I can't take that serious because journalists have been found lying.
How many people has CNN let go?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, well, we have a confidential source. Oh, really? You do? But they might have a confidential source. But back, speaking of Nixon, back when Deep Throat divulged all that information, it's like we have an anonymous source. You took that at face value because, why would a journalist lie? But now
that's also another thing, though. They were believed because there was no other source of information. If they were journalists, because
that's all you had.
Yeah, that's all they had. So they had no choice but to believe them because, I don't know.
I was thinking about this the other day. This is kind of like Harry Potter called it, guys. Check this out. Did you read the books?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Not all of them.
Okay.
I didn't read all of them.
Well, I'll be honest. Harry Potter called it because if you remember towards the end of the series, I think this started in the seed was planted in book 5 with the introduction of the Luna Lovegood character because her father was editor-in-chief at the Quibbler, which was an alternative magical newspaper.
Okay. Sorry. Tangent. Small. Her character in the book was so much better than in the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
I agree. But if you remember when the Quibbler is first introduced, it's like, it's silly. It's fake. It's fake news. By the last book, the Quibbler is the only place you can get legitimate information. Because the Ministry of Magic and the Daily Prophet, the major newspaper, and the government are taken over by Voldemort. He who must not be named followers.
They were corrupt.
So...
Harry Potter.
There's so many unintentionally hilarious moments in those movies. Anyway, but yeah. So by the end of Harry Potter, the Quibbler's the only the alternative media, the alternative paper is the only legitimate source, and people slowly but surely realize that. Much like this is happening right now because you have people like, and this is an extreme case, but people like Alex Jones, people like Joe Rogan, who were either just entertainment or crazy people, and now you listen to what they're talking about, and you're kind of like, eh.
Speaking of Alex Jones, have you seen how the judge was talking to him?
Yeah, he kind of deserves that one though.
He had gauze in his mouth from getting a tooth removed. No,
oh, the
did you
judge?
not see that clip?
The judge did?
Yeah, the judge was like, "Sir, you can't be chewing gum in here." He goes, "It's not gum, it's gauze." And he's just like, "I just got a tooth removed this morning. Do you need to see?" And she's just like, "No, sir, I don't." He goes, "I don't mind," and he just rips it out and he shows her, and it's like, "Look, dude. You can tell if somebody's chewing on gauze." She goes, "Why are you chewing on it?" He goes, "My tooth hurts. I just got it removed." So and then you could just tell. And I was like, oh, he's fucked.
But I guess that's my point, because while I do sincerely believe that Alex Jones is in the wrong in this case, before any of the discovery happened, and that's where he really got in trouble, before any of that happened, he was already guilty. Turns out he was guilty, but,
Of what, though? It's not a criminal
well,
case.
yeah, I should say guilty's not liable.
Yeah.
He was liable.
Yeah, it's a lawsuit.
That's an important... Yeah, well, among other things, but yeah, it's a civil case.
Nothing criminal.
Yeah, exactly, and there is a difference. There is a major difference. Well, and then the thing of it is, the thing about civil cases is you're not innocent until proven guilty.
Nope.
Is you basically have to prove, no, I'm not liable here. Unlike a criminal case where you're allegedly innocent until proven guilty, but that's kind of...
even as a father, I don't think there's anything you should be able to do over free speech. Your free speech should be protected. As long as you're not advocating for violence, against someone saying, you guys need to go out and do this, like Maxine Waters. Just let me put that out there.
Well,
anyway,
this isn't. That's not a case of free speech, though.
What is it?
Alex Jones's trial.
Why not?
Well, because nobody's saying he can't say it. It's just that you have to deal with the consequences of saying it.
Sure, but like, you know, so then that's a slippery slope. Then you can start to sue
Kind of.
everybody over everything. Oh man.
Well, technically,
you didn't pay your mortgage because you lost your job. You know, it's like the slippery slope. I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
I was gonna say,
but no, like what I'm getting at is like, you know,
well, I mean,
your wife died, so you quit going to work because you were depressed, and so you lost your house. And then someone says, "Oh, you just quit your job," you know, because no, it's like you stopped going because you're depressed.
Well,
it sort of ties in a little bit. It's hard to make my point right now because I can't fucking make it for some reason. But anyway, like I don't know, like I don't want to. Be like,
I mean, technically,
he's not wrong. I don't want to say that. I want to say he's wrong, but are they able to sue him for something he says? I don't think that's legit because the thing is,
it depends on the situation.
Because everyone says, "Oh, the Constitution is you're only protected from the government." It's
correct.
Like, it's like no, technically everybody should follow the Constitution.
Well, no. There's an important distinction there because the Constitution is guidelines for how the government works.
I understand, and we are the people.
Correct, but the Constitution is to protect the people from the government, not to protect people from people.
I mean, technically, it's a group of people against a group of people.
Well, okay, so here's an example of why you would want to be able to civilly sue somebody. So let's say that...
What do they call
that? Slander if it's spoken, okay. Libel if it's in print. But let's say, for example, you start a business, and then somebody comes out and says that, okay, I got a good one.
The cupcake business, the Jesus business, remember?
That's a little bit different. So this would be a.
They were trying to say it was a hate crime.
I'm trying to think of how to word this so that it's the best possible. Yeah, I guess that would work. So let's say that you have a dairy farm, and somebody goes on social media saying that you abuse your animals. I mean, you don't, but let's just say that somebody gets, and that goes viral, and then all of a sudden your business folds because of what somebody said. Now, I think you should be able to sue that motherfucker.
Because it's a business, yes.
Well, but even you as an individual. Okay, so here's another example. So let's say that you... People
harassing those people saying they're actors, yes. I'm
correct, yeah.
Because crisis actors or whatever you call them. But the thing is, like, when you get down into, like, the weird, like, side of YouTube and, you know, go down the rabbit holes, it's fucking weird.
Well, but that's why
I don't mean just the Sandy Hook thing. I'm talking other things. You know,
well, but see, here's the flip side of that coin. So, you know, talking about crisis actors,
I like stories.
Yeah. Well, but this is where I draw the line. I want proof. Once I see proof, I'm on board. I saw proof of I think they were U-Haul trucks bringing in signs and people coming in for the BLM protests. Like, they were bringing people in from out of state.
Where they had, like, fucking those pallets with rocks on them, and some other stuff.
I know they had signs.
Someone brought in those things for them to use, and it's like...
Well, and there's plenty of testimony and videos of people coming in, being brought in, being bussed in from out of state. I saw that, and I'm like, well, yeah, they're 100% actors. And I don't think it wasn't Sandy Hook.
Paid protesters.
Which one? Who's the David Hogg? What school was that? I can't remember.
Parkland, Florida.
See, here's the thing. In my mind, Parkland, Florida happened. There's no dispute about that. However, I think that people like David Hogg were just waiting in the wings for something to happen.
And supposedly he wasn't even there when it happened.
I've heard that. I cannot confirm or deny. But he certainly was. But even when he was in the media, I'm like, that kid's too good at this. But I didn't want to sling too much shit because he was
PR trained, dude.
Well, no, he was already political.
Yeah.
He's already involved in a bunch of stuff like that, and I'm sure it's part of his whole, like, he wants to go into politics. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, at the time, I didn't want to sling too much crap his way because he was still a minor at the time. But now he's an adult, so I can.
I mean, at that age,
same thing
I
with.
was not involved in politics. I didn't give one shit about politics.
Same
I was
thing.
worried about getting laid.
I mean, same thing with Greta Thunberg. I didn't want to talk a lot of shit about her when she was still a minor, but now she's over 18, so she's fair game.
How dare you?
How dare you? That is the one thing that I really enjoy still on the Fresh and Fit podcast
that right
is they have
there,
the sound bite.
Because she's autistic. Or no, is she autistic or she has
I don't
I think she
know.
has what's the
I don't know.
the syndrome. It's not something Berg. I can't remember what it's called. But it's autism.
I don't know.
Autism. But
Okay, so why are we listening to her?
That's my point. I'm like, dude, she was trained by her parents. Her parents are activists.
Oh, her parents are activists. When I read that, I was like, that's it.
And
like, I was waiting for that dot to be connected, and then I found that out. I'm like, oh, gee, shucks.
I was watching these. I don't know if the kids were gay or not. I mean, I don't really care because for one, they were like 9 and 12.
Well, but let's think about what you said there for just 1 second.
Kids.
Yeah.
But no, this mother, like, and this kid was
saying,
I
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the kid was talking, and he goes, well, I mean, if my mom tells me to blah, 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 you know, and he looks over his mom, and she goes, well, I don't tell you that. And he's just kind of like,
I remember
where do I go
exactly.
from here?
I remember exactly what he said because I was like, oh, he said, my mom doesn't care if I'm gay. She just wants me to be part of it.
Right. Or what about the mother in Texas who was trying to force her child to go on puberty blockers, and the dad didn't want to do it.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
And he lost. He won.
Lost?
He won.
Okay.
And then they brought it back, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like.
Well, and this is the thing, and this is where people get into trouble because
there are a lot of blue cities.
Well, I can only express my views, but my view is this: like, at the end of the day, I really don't care. And I mean that in the truest sense of the word. I don't care. But as arbitrary as it may seem, there has to be a line drawn somewhere. And I'm of the opinion that if you're old enough to join the army and go get shot at, that's the line. I think when you're 18, you can do whatever you want. Go nuts.
But the thing is, man, just leave kids alone. That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all any person is literally saying.
Look,
leave kids alone. Let them be kids.
And I guess here's a good metaphor. Let's say, my nephew's a perfect example. I first heard him say this when he was 9 years old. I want to join the Marine Corps. Oh, okay. Great. You're 9, you might change your mind, but until then, get good grades, do all that shit, and when you're 18, then you can decide if you want to go. Like, we're not giving him green fatigues yet. Like, I don't think anyone in their right mind would let a 9-year-old child enlist in the Army, at least not in the United States.
I mean, my kid's favorite place to eat is, where is it? I can't remember what it's called, but like, he says when he's 6. When he wants to grow up, he wants to work there. And I'm like, listen, there's nothing wrong with working in restaurants. I've worked in restaurants. But
I don't know if this is a dream territory.
Yeah, that's my point. So it's like, guess what? Your ideas can change from 6 to 18. Or even 18 to 24. There are people that don't have their shit figured out.
Hell,
I don't even have my shit figured out.
17 to 18.
I'm 35 and I'm 34.
I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Like, I'm winging it here. Like, I was supposed to be well off, but Mr. Biden's economy.
That's true.
Biden's economy.
You were on your way to being pretty well off too.
No, and now I gotta fucking figure shit out again because
I know I'm supposed to have a Lamborghini and a yacht and like 6 girlfriends right now, but
like I truly had shit figured out.
I figure an even half dozen would have been.
So mad. I've been thinking about that for like the past week. I was like, man, this is bullshit.
See, that's a legitimate reason to be mad at the president, though. Not like, he just something mean on Twitter.
It's because I was doing things I set myself up, and then it just didn't happen because of the fucking economy.
Well, hey, Biden said some mean stuff on Twitter. He called us, what did he say?
Oh, yeah, he split half the country.
No. Which is hilarious because he was supposed to bring unity. Called that one from a mile away.
You don't vote for me, you ain't black.
What he did?
He's a great.
What did he call it? What did he call us? Half fascists or something fascist?
He said
like we were
MAGA
on the
Republicans are fascists.
It wasn't fascist. It was something fascist. Like
something fascist.
I can't remember what it was.
But
it wasn't.
It's hilarious because the thing is, like, I don't know too many.
Last time
I hate like speaking up for Republicans and whatnot because in the past they just don't do anything. They sit there quietly, But the thing is, it's like you're gonna sit there and call them fascists when they don't shut down free speech. They allow you to speak.
Well, let's be real though. Let's be real. They're not doing that now. Historically, well, not historically.
Because they're finally starting to like, you know what? We're not going to do anything. Nothing's going to happen unless we fight fire with fire.
What I'm hoping is going to happen is because it's pretty obvious that the pendulum swings back and forth, and now it's already starting to go back to right. Because I read a hilarious article the other day about how teenagers are rebelling now. They're going to church. They're being abstinent. I'm not joking. This was a legitimate article. I think it was in the New York Times.
Are they done vaping?
Yeah, for the most part. Like, dude, drug use is down, like, ridiculous amounts compared to when we were younger.
Probably because they're afraid if they touch anything, it's going to be laced with fentanyl.
Well, no, dude, they're rebelling against their parents. Their parents were fucking idiots. It's so funny. They're
going to church?
Yes, they're going to church. They're becoming they're becoming religious. They're saving, not all of them, but some of them are saving themselves for marriage. Like, even when they are having sex, they're refusing to have unprotected sex.
I'm just going to say this. Like, I've seen like 18 to like 23-year-old women. Like the 90s baggy jeans are coming back. Like, they don't wear skin tight jeans like they did when we were kids. And I'm just saying, like,
and like mom jeans. They shouldn't be called mom jeans.
They are mom jeans.
Well, I totally get now. I was educated on why they're ideal.
They don't fill out those pants.
But like when we were younger, it was all about like the what do you call them when they wear them on the waist? I know there's a proper term for it.
Lowriders.
Yeah, lowriders, hip huggers, whatever you want to call them.
Oh, love them.
I know, man.
I don't want to wear them.
Because I hate to say it this way because this is super misogynistic and sexist, but you can't hide.
Don't use that word. Fuck that shit. It's hot.
Well, no. Here's what this is the misogynistic part, not that.
I don't
that's just verifiable fact. But
I probably shouldn't throw words out like that.
You can't hide in lowriders. If you wear the mom jeans, you can.
Oh, I got you.
You can't hide with hip huggers
because those things are tight and they'll show up.
Well, and they're lower. So
lower.
you can't tuck it in, so to speak. Listen, ladies, wear whatever you want. There are some.
Don't get rid of the yoga pants.
No, we've had this discussion on the podcast before. Don't. God bless whoever invented that.
Yes, bless them.
But
my wife owns like 35 pairs.
But I'm also going to sling some truth your way. All of the women out there that are calling men misogynists for making comments like that. Do you know how many videos are online of girls teaching other girls the perfect way to wear their leggings and yoga pants so that it accentuates their hindquarters? There's so many. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. I didn't even mean that as a pun.
It's not fair that those girls can be teaching that kind of stuff on TikTok and YouTube and garner millions of views, and yet here we are on the battle lines for you people.
You know what though? It's par for the course. I brought up that one girl on TikTok, and she's not even doing anything. She's not doing anything different than the male creators are, but it's literally just because she's a girl. The girl that has the wrestling podcast.
But what you're saying is what most of these girls are saying. What is it about men? They have it easier than women, huh?
Well, we do in some respects.
Yeah,
and I agree.
Seen heavy stuff.
Well, no, and I agree. But here's
except for Helga.
Well, and this is
Helga.
And this is where people get it wrong, though, because it's like, yes, men have some advantages, but women have advantages too. We're not the same, though.
Listen, at the beginning, everyone's birth, we are all endowed with certain freaking characteristics that mirror other people. And, like, if you want to get down to it and, like, fucking stats it all up, we're all fucking even. Like, he may know more history. I might know a little bit more about astronomy. Shit happens. It's like yin to yangs. Like, everybody's fucking even. Like, I've always said that, and people, like, they get down to it, they're like, yeah, that does make sense.
I mean, fundamentally, it comes down to is do you want equality of opportunity or equality of outcome? And I'll take equality of opportunity every day, because then if you fail, you have no one to blame but yourself. Mm-hmm. And equality of outcome is impossible anyway, because the only way you can achieve it is to tie others down and artificially lift others up. It's not feasible. No. Because, like, oh God, we were in it was an excerpt from another book. It might have been Fahrenheit 4. I don't think so, but anyway, it was an excerpt from a book, and it was set in the future. We read this in elementary school. It was set in the future, and these people are watching a ballet on TV. Now, all the dancers have weights tied to them so that they cannot basically perform better than the average person. So it's a bore to watch, because who wants to watch a ballet where the dancers can't dance at like a high level, or who wants to watch a sporting event where the athletes can't perform at a higher than average level? But anyway, some dude busts in, tears off the prima ballerina's weights, and then they just fucking go ape shit on the stage. I'm going off of memory here, but that story always stuck with me, because even as a child, I recognized it's like, well, yeah, that would suck. Like, I don't want to watch a sporting event where the athletes cannot perform at their peak level, and they deserve what they get because they train for years, they put in the work, and if they don't, then they get cut. They don't end up on the team.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, because, like you said, everybody's born roughly the same. It's over time, and yes, people have genetic gifts. Like, for example, I don't have the gene to be 6'7" and, 220 pounds and be able to slam into motherfuckers. But some people do, and that's why those dudes play football, and I don't. And LeBron James was born with the gift of not going to Russia.
Oh gosh.
No, but seriously, I'm not hating on LeBron because he makes money. He deserves to make money.
He's a well-rounded basketball player.
He's a very good basketball player. If he wasn't, he wouldn't be at the level he's
at.
No.
Just gonna say, he does do good things for his community.
Yeah, so you can't.
But he also is a bitch to China.
Fuck China. I'll say it. Fuck you, Xi.
Good and bad. Grasp the concept. It's not that hard. People are good and bad.
Speaking of China, as bad as things are economically here, at least we're not in China.
That's true.
Ooh.
And listen, we have the opportunity to change our status. China, it's imaginary.
Yeah,
you can imagine changing your status.
It's a fugazi. It's a fugazi.
Even the businesses they have, they are essentially, not essentially, they are owned by the government. And while they seemingly make money that they're using and whatnot and selling product, the government has 100% control of it. It's like 99.9% control, but anyway.
I mean, case in point, the real estate crisis that's going on over there.
That they had buildings that weren't even built. It's like, what are you going to do? Nothing. Sorry.
I mean,
China is about to lose their fucking economy.
Well, they solved the problem by basically printing more money and giving out more loans. It's like, I wonder if people have done that before. Oh, wait. It never works. Sosa! Yes, we are unpacking.
I haven't seen you for a while.
Nah, he's been busy. He's been putting out a shit ton of videos.
I know. Holy shit.
When are you going to fight again, bro? let me know so that I can tune in.
Actually, we've been talking about this.
Yeah, we need to have Sosa.
Yeah, hey, you got rid of your Facebook or something like that.
He probably got banned.
I'll message you on Twitter or something so we can figure out a DBZ episode or something
Set
like that.
Set it up. Yeah, he probably got banned. Probably got banned like Andrew Tate.
I think he backed out before he hurt me. It's okay.
Well, no, he's still... It says he's still watching, but anyway. Yeah, he probably got... I don't know, what was that a signal?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he probably got banned like Andrew Tate did.
Yeah.
Who's still all over TikTok.
Where are you at on your...
Oh, okay. So, I did want to share one thing, though. So, and this is what I was talking about earlier, where I was getting frustrated about trying to figure out, because the whole thing that's going out there is that they found documents dealing with nuclear weapons at Mar-a-Lago. However, I could not find a single article, left or right, that confirmed that they said they were looking for documents that could be related to nuclear. However, this is, I paraphrased a little bit, but this is essentially a quote from an article from The Hill. Several classified documents, with some being top secret and some SCI, which stands for sensitive compartmented information. It did not specify that in the article. I had to look up what that meant because it didn't. This is important. It didn't say in the article what an SCI document was. They made it sound like, oh, actually they did. It goes on. Those are considered some of the highest level of classified documents. Remember this. This is important. Highest level of classified documents. Since the documents are so secretive, it's unknown whether investigators will ever publicly acknowledge what they're in reference to, let alone release them. Which on the surface, like, I get it, but with the credibility of the government and the FBI right now, that's kind of an interesting way to put it. So, because my brain is so fantastical and I can't let shit go to save my life, I looked up what sensitive compartmented information is. SCI is a type of control system used by the United States government intelligence community. It is not a classification of intelligence information. Any intelligence gathered at any classification level may exist within an SCI control system. When decompartmentalized, this information is treated the same as collateral information at the same classification level. So what that means is that SCI essentially doesn't mean anything specifically because it's not an actual classification system.
Weird.
Except, I noticed this, every left-leaning article that I read brought up the fact that some of these documents were SCI. But SCI doesn't really mean jack shit on the surface. It could, but it's just a way, and none of these articles said, because you would think, like, you don't have to go into specifics, but you'd be like, oh yeah, they found documents pertaining to nuclear weapons at Mar-a-Lago. But they haven't said that yet, and I suspect it's because they can't say that. Now, do I think Trump was wrong for taking these documents? Yes. But I don't think it was necessarily nefarious. I think it was probably
we don't know what documents he took because we don't know anything.
I think it was Trump trying to, be Trump and be like, you're not going to tell me what to do. I know this all started...
regardless of what they are, he does have the power.
Kind of. He wouldn't necessarily...
Now, he can't take codes.
Yeah, well, there are certain documents where he doesn't really have the authority to. Most documents, yes, he can. But at the same time, you can't just be like, I declassify all of these. Because that's not how it works.
That's what I'm saying. Like, certain things.
That's essentially what he says he did, though.
It's
because I don't remember where I heard this. I want to say this was the Legal Eagles YouTube channel. Apparently, he had a standing policy where anything that he removed from the White House was automatically declassified. Like, he had a standing order, and it's like, that's not how it works.
I don't think he would do anything stupid like that.
No, I don't.
He hired people to make sure he didn't do stupid shit like that.
Well, and this all stems from a request sent by the National Archives to get some of these documents that were in his possession, which may or may not actually, like, they may have been fine. They just wanted the documents or copies of the documents, which I understand. You want to hold on to some of that stuff. And I guess Trump was taking a little too long to respond to or acquiesce the request.
Oh, yeah. He made him wait.
Yeah, so, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know if this really warranted the FBI getting involved, but the fact of the matter is, it was okayed. So, we'll see, though.
Why haven't they gone after Obama? He took stuff when he left. Why didn't they go after
well, that's the flip
Bill?
side. That's the flip side of it, because even if Trump did something wrong...
Other presidents did the same thing.
Yeah, maybe not to the same degree, but the point still stands.
Obama took a shit ton.
Well, right, but again, it's quality, not quantity,
Oh, right.
But the point still stands. It's like you would think that they would still investigate it. So even if Trump is in the wrong...
Sorry, no president should fucking leave with any documents.
Well,
I don't care.
They might need some, because some of them are going to work on memoirs and all that jazz. I don't really The National
you can just
Archives.
write about it.
Well, the National Archives is supposed to have copies of all this stuff too, and I guess there were some documents that weren't. But you're right. Clinton left with documents. Obama left with documents. I'm sure George W. left with some documents.
There's been a lot of presidents that leave with documents.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, is it right? No, none of them should be. Sorry, that is, like, I get what you're saying.
That's the point,
but at
though.
the same time, it's like, you know, that there should be like a, hey, I need to Xerox these. And, like, okay, well, which ones are you Xeroxing? Well, you can't do that one, you can't do that one. You know, that there should be a oversight.
Well, and there is. That's what the National Archives is doing.
Weird. There's an oversight. Then how did that happen?
Well, it was written into the law, but
Who wrote it?
I don't remember when it was written. Fairly early on.
Okay. Well, that's my point. Therefore, we have something in place, and yet...
Well, yeah, but Trump technically violated that. Whether he did it intentionally or not is debatable, but he did.
Technically, Obama did too. So
well, maybe,
all these fucking presidents are
maybe
fucking
not.
violating...
No. They're allowed to take documents, but there are steps that are taken.
I don't think they should be able to take anything.
And see, I don't think it's necessarily correct to say that Trump violated the law. He might have made it, or there might be a misunderstanding. I just don't know, and like we don't know. That's the point of the FBI. But the fact that they actually called it an FBI raid, which is what it was, is kind of telling because it's like, what are you really looking for? Like at this point, I think they're just trying everything. They're hoping, they're fishing. It's the same thing they did with Russiagate and the Mueller report, which I think were the same thing.
Yeah, the Steele dossier.
Yeah. Like, they're just fishing.
All those things against Trump, and not one is stuck so far. Do you guys not see your fucking wins versus losses? You're in the red. Well,
I think it's important to clarify that the Mueller report did say that there was reason to believe there may have been collusion, but nothing was, I'm paraphrasing heavily, but there was nothing conclusive that had direct connection.
Yeah,
which is
therefore it was just not conclusive, so you can't have an indictment.
Which I was going to say, which in the legal sense, if it's inconclusive, then
it's thrown out.
He's not guilty.
Yeah, so it's like,
well, it's like there's enough evidence in anybody's life to be like, oh well, I think you like. I'm sure you've been in touch with a drug dealer at some point. You may not have known you were talking to a drug dealer, but you know, it depends on your verbiage. Like, I'm sure I've talked to a drug dealer before.
Yes,
didn't know I was talking to a drug dealer, but I mean, it'd probably be enough to ruin a political career. Just be like, oh, well, he talked to this guy, and this guy sold drugs and kicked puppies. Actually, I would never associate with anybody that kicked puppies. Fuck that guy.
Unless it's like a play kick.
Yeah, that's not the kind of kick I'm talking about. Because like my dog,
it's more like a nudge.
This is TMI.
Your tank.
Yeah. Well, and you know this. She loves getting slapped on the ass. She loves it. She'll come up and fucking ask for it.
She'd be like, slap me, baby.
No, she backs it up. You know, it's her. I don't know what her deal is. I think she's fucked in the head.
Just took a turn.
Yeah, this took a weird turn. What I'm saying is that on the surface, it looks like
calm and ready to drop bombs, but he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down.
Everybody's dog has a weird quirk. Mine just happens to like being, I don't know, it's fucked up. Yeah, that took a turn. Let's change the subject.
What do you got?
That's all for my notes.
Okay, then fuck it. Let's get into Tate.
Listen, breathe air. So the Tate thing to me is especially funny because I discovered Andrew Tate years ago. And now I find all this hilarious. Because I'm seeing things that's like, oh, you know, Andrew Tate burst on the scene. I'm like, I was watching his shit.
Burst on the scene?
I was watching his stuff years ago. And I even said at the time, I'm like, how is this dude not famous?
The guy is a genius with how he's doing things.
Well, not to mention, he's charismatic. He's hilarious. Like, he's kind of like if the Kardashians had been done right. Like,
he's a good fighter.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I love how everybody like.
And he was an actor, sort of.
Kind of. It's on reality television.
Yeah.
He definitely has a character down. Because if you believe that's really Andrew... Well, actually, I can tell you why I know that's not really Andrew Tate. Because, like, if you watch some of his older stuff, like when he was on reality, like, it's close, but he's just dialing it up. He and Tristan, his brother, you know, they both... Now, I think Tristan is a touch more real than Andrew, but he doesn't usually go into that inflated character.
You could see a little bit of his realness when he was on Tucker.
Sure.
Because when he was talking about the drinking tap water.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Well, but again, that's an example that I talked about when we were talking about it. I'm like,
said it was a joke. He's like,
but I don't understand how you couldn't see that it was a joke.
People are dumb.
People are dumb. Like, it's an obvious joke. For one thing, because he has actually, I don't think it's on YouTube anymore. It's on some news site, but it used to be on YouTube, Tate Confidential. It was essentially a reality show about himself that he produced himself. And it was massively entertaining. But I've seen him drink non-sparkling water on the show. But he does the sparkling water bit all the time because it's funny. It's like we all do things that we just find funny and amuses us. They're still going on about that stupid elite level hydration thing, which was just so funny to me.
About them buying the courses.
It's so fucking funny. I found it so funny because that's like something we would do. Like if we had a ton of money, we'd be sitting there just being like,
yeah. Be like, what do we waste our money on today, Bob?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a $500 course on hydration. And I'm not going to tell you because if you want the secret, you have to buy the course.
Like, I'm so fucking hydrated.
That's what he said. He's like, I'm hydrated already.
But no, getting into the Andrew Tate, it wasn't just to talk about him. Basically, what's going on with him? He's being censored. Like,
hardcore.
And, like, what's it even for? What's he even being censored for?
Well, you know, Sterling Cooper is a guy, if you're on YouTube, you probably know who Sterling Cooper is, but he's a male pornographic actor, but he pals around with Andrew Tate, and he's got a YouTube channel now too, along with Justin Waller and his brother Tristan. They've kind of become a sort of a collective.
For reference, Tate has been kicked off of YouTube, correct?
Yes,
okay.
Tate Speech, his channel, but he's still all over it. And that's truly genius. I realized what he was doing with TikTok fairly early on, and I'm like, oh, that's genius.
I mean, you can still get views on your stuff with this.
Oh, it's gone. I deleted all of it. I took it personally.
Well, I'm just saying, you still could have got views.
I know.
But the thing is, if it's not your content,
that's exactly why. That's exactly why.
But you can sell TikToks with followers and shit like that. Like, hey, I've got 1,000 followers over here, $500.
There are some things I can't talk about, both for respect to the platform and the fact that there's reasons why I can't
Tate
talk.
Tate has taught me a lot.
Well, there's things I literally can't talk about. Not that I wouldn't want to talk about them anyway, but now I really can't talk about them because of things about like Hustlers University and things like that. So I'm not going to. You and I have talked obviously off camera. You know what's going on with that. So, but suffice it to say. Everybody who's talking about the affiliate stuff, you missed the memo. Things have changed, so stop. And secondly, so it kills me because so many people, like there's this dork, I can't remember if he was on TikTok or Snapchat, one of the two, but you're getting things wrong. Like first of all, the human trafficking shit, no charges were ever filed. Ever. There were no charges filed. And Andrew has said on numerous platforms what actually happened. And I remember when that happened. First of all, it happened last year. And I remember thinking, I was like, something doesn't seem right. So essentially what happened was his house was, I guess raided would be an appropriate term. The Romanian police came, searched his house. They took him and Tristan to the police station, but they were never cuffed. They went along willingly. And basically what happened, this is Andrew telling it, is they were having a party. They'd invited numerous girls over to their house. And one of these girls had a boyfriend. She was American. Boyfriend calls her. She's not answering. You know, and this is going on and on and on. Then finally she answers.
He basically swatted him.
Well, essentially, but I don't think he had the intention of swatting. And again, this is Andrew and Tristan telling the story, and I'm paraphrasing. So if you want to know, like, you can look it up. You can find the videos. They're not hard to find. And actually, Andrew talked about this when he was on Tucker Carlson, but I've heard Tristan tell this story too. So anyway, her boyfriend finally gets a hold of her, and she didn't want to get caught stepping out on her boyfriend, who's in America. She got flown out to Romania based off of Instagram. Yeah. So she tells this, which I'm sorry, I don't really understand how you could think this was legit. Like, first of all, if you've been trafficked, why would they let you keep your phone?
Yeah, that's the first thing to go.
That's my first, yeah. But anyway, so, like, so she tells him that she's being held there against her will. So he calls the U.S. Embassy, which, I'll be fair, he didn't do anything wrong.
No, he just
based on the information that he had, he did the right thing. And the American Embassy did the right thing, and the Romanian police did the right thing. And you know who else said they did the right thing? Andrew fucking Tate. On Tucker Carlson even said, if I live in a world where, if someone thinks that there's someone being trafficked and the police don't roll up, I don't want to live in that world. So essentially what happened is the embassy alerted the Romanian authorities. The Romanian authorities came over. They looked through everything, questioned everybody, looked through their camera footage because they have security cameras across the entire place, apparently. They couldn't find anything. They had to take him down to the station for 45 minutes to sign basically witness statements and other paperwork pertaining. They were never arrested, according to Andrew and Tristan. No charges were filed, and I looked. I couldn't find anything that said, yes, charges were filed, even though people keep saying the investigation is ongoing.
It's already been closed.
Well, I don't know if it's been closed, but if there is an investigation, you would think that there would be charges. I don't know. I'm not, it's particularly Romanian law. I don't know how it works.
Regardless, though, it's funny. Like, how would she get a hold of her boyfriend with her own phone if she was trafficked? It's like, come on now. Like, traffickers aren't dumb.
I'll put it to you this way. If they are human traffickers, they're not very good at it.
No.
Because actually, Tristan...
I'm sorry, but if there was a trail of messages saying, hey, we'll fly you out here, this and that.
Well, and apparently...
Why didn't that show up?
And let's be real. You can be trafficked. It's possible. Yeah. But I guess and Tristan actually made I was telling you, they did one of their emergency meeting podcasts, and that documentarian from Vice was on there, and they were giving him it was funny. But anyway, Andrew's like, you can go anywhere in my house. I got nothing to hide. And Tristan goes, except for that closet. That's where we keep our trafficking victims. It's like, like I said, if they are legit human traffickers, which...
They're not good at
it. They're not good at it. I'm curious to see this Vice documentary coming out. And again, all you people, like, it just kills me. It's the same thing that all these people that are... It's the same thing... I'm going to choose my words carefully here. It's the same thought process that, like these school shooters and like these serial killers have, but Tate's doing it in a much more benign way, is he's pissing off the media so that they talk about him incessantly. And he's getting even more famous because of it. And they think they're killing him, and they're not. Because
creating a monster.
You don't have to have your own YouTube channel to be on YouTube. You don't have to have... Andrew Tate never had an official TikTok. Ever.
You've
never
talked
had
about him so much, you're starting to sound like him.
Oh, God.
Your accent just came out there, you fucking Australian motherfucker.
That was it. I was emphasizing the ever. No, TikTok.
TikTok.
That's how you say it, TikTok. TikTok.
Literally,
he never had a TikTok
like
ever. Okay.
How he has his like American accent, because it's like starting to like turn into an American accent or whatever accent he has, and then like he has his Australian accent comes out every now and then.
Oh, he doesn't have an Australian accent. I know what you mean though.
Where is he from?
Well, he's American.
I know, but
he grew up in England.
Is it England?
Yeah,
I thought he was Australian.
No, Sterling Cooper's Australian.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Okay, yeah. Well, whatever accent it is.
TikTok.
You literally came out with it, and I was like, "Oh shit."
He does have it's a very interesting voice. He's easy to listen to because it's
at first like you just think he's just some other American guy, and then
but it comes out, which is funny because if you watch his older stuff,
fast.
Well, it's funny because when you watch his older stuff, like when he was 2021, he's very English.
Yeah.
But then he's been able to travel more, which I guess that happens with some people. Because I had my first ever fencing teacher. She was an American.
That reality show was in Australia that he was on.
Oh yeah, probably. My fencing teacher, when I started being taught, she had an English accent, so I just thought she was English. And then somebody was like, "No, she went to she wasn't fucking with me." It's like, "No, she went to England for like 6 months." And she comes back with a full English accent.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, you can't hurt me.
Ron.
I still love
Ronald
that. I still love that
Weasley.
Christmas text thread we had. Happy Christmas, Ron.
Oh. Happy Christmas, Ron. And literally, I just get a text back like, this is why we're friends.
It was so funny.
Happy Christmas, Ron.
I have those every so often. I'll even show people. I'm like, this is why we're friends. But anyway, so Andrew, he never had an official TikTok. And see, then I tried to do it and it didn't.
You can't force it, man.
He did have Instagram, which he is now, but his brother's Instagram is still up. He is off YouTube. I double checked that, but he switched over to another platform anyway. I can't remember what it was called. It's a YouTube alternative. It's not Rumble. It's
Rumble.
I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, I thought about joining it just so that I could watch new Tate Confidential, but I'm for now I'm okay with YouTube. I don't really want to switch. I'm good with YouTube because I tried Rumble and it's just,
It's weird. There
Yeah,
are 50,000 ads.
I'm not.
You try to watch something, it's just like
It's
50,000.
kind of like getting your news from the Ben Shapiro show. It's like, we'll get to the facts of the case in just a minute, but first,
This
do you have
sponsor.
quality sleep?
Oh my god, dude.
I'll say he's good at it. I'm legitimately impressed.
He's very good at it. Have you watched his reacts to woke TikToks? Or,
All the
liberal
time.
Oh, dude. He's like, my. What does he say? My editors think this is funny.
I believe that. And I guess he started doing a gaming thing. He was playing Minecraft.
What?
Oh, dude, there's the best part. Here's the best part. I only saw a short clip of it, but I kind of want to watch the whole thing. So he's playing Minecraft, and he's like, okay, this is kind of like Mario. But then somebody's like, I guess, I don't know. I don't play Minecraft. I guess there's this thing called a creeper. I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
But anyway, so it looks like a pixelated zombie thing. But anyway, the guy's like, he's like, oh, what is that? He's like, that's a creeper. He's like, what is Joe Biden doing here? Ben, you funny.
Andrew Tate was the main title, and he got a whole whopping 15 minutes.
Well, we're not done yet.
Well, it's hard to talk about just one person. That's why I was trying to.
Because this is happening everywhere.
Yeah, it's not just one person. It's literally.
Well, and I gotta sling a little bit of crap over here on a YouTube channel that I love, How to Beast. He did a clickbaity ass title. It was "My Girlfriend Destroys Andrew Tate," and he shows her some clips, and she agrees with everything he said. She's at some point she's like,
Well, that's not throwing shade. That's like a backhanded comment, like a backhanded positive comment.
Oh, I
like,
kind of
you piece of. I like
hey,
it.
you know what? It worked.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I saw that I'm like, oh, here we go.
That's how they do that shit.
I know, and he'd be the first to admit it. But
Like I got robbed, and then they get to it, be like, in Call of Duty.
some of his are so bad, like they're clickbait, but they work because you're like, okay, what really happened?
Oh yeah.
Because like one is like he's done like three.
It
or
makes
four.
you want.
Yeah,
to know.
exactly. He's done 3 or 4 where it's like, guess I'm single now. You know, that kind of stuff. Or one of my favorite ones. This was clickbaity as hell. Is like, I'm a bachelor now, and it was just his fiance was going to visit her parents for a week, so he was hanging out with Max tuning.
I've said shit like that on Facebook, and people are like.
Dude, I've said that before.
They say there's like, what happened? I'm like,
I told her to
she's
get
saying-
out of my house.
I'm like, I think it was actually my in-laws. No. That my wife and my mother-in-law went on like a woman's retreat for their church.
Yeah.
And they were just gone for like 2 days, and I was like, yeah, blah blah blah.
I get
you're
to
out for the weekend.
I get to do all the same stuff that I normally do.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't do anything different.
It's just quieter.
No, I mean, yeah.
I mean, literally, when I was married and my wife would go away to do something,
Oh, it's great.
I would do all the same crap I normally did. It's just I would do more of it and like in larger blocks.
Man, I tell you what, like I wish I had the mindset I have now back before I had kids. I would have gotten so much stuff done.
It's pretty sweet. Although here lately, I was
pretty lazy in my early 20s.
Dude, I know, and it's, you know, you always get that question. It's like, if you could go back to like your 15 or your 20-year-old self, and tell them something, what would you tell them? I'd be like, there's a couple things. One, don't marry that bitch. But primarily,
I'd give you one word. 2009.
Bitcoin.
Buy a bunch and then just sit on it for 10 years.
What was that, 2009? So I'd go back to my 2004, 2005 self and be like, work your ass off, save every penny you have, buy this thing called Bitcoin in 2009, and wait for a few years.
Not even a few, because there was several crashes and the peak was in 2021.
Yeah.
I would say wait 11 years. I would give dates.
Yeah.
I'd be
it'd be like Back to the Future Part 2 with Biff and Future Biff.
Yeah.
And I'd be like to my future self, being like, now why don't you make a tree and get out of here?
They talk about time machines and time travel. But the thing is, if one has not been invented, you cannot travel any further back than to when it was invented.
Let's do an experiment. We're going to, right now, if either one of us invents or is able to, well, we're not going to invent it. If at any point either one of us is able to access time travel, at 10:02 on this date, September 1st, oh, we don't just turn 10:02, my bad. At 10:03, well, we'll give ourselves time. At 10:04 p.m., September 1st, 2022, knock on that door. And I'll let you know when it's 10:04. So, there's a clock right there.
I literally have to poop. And if that door knocks, I may shit myself.
Yeah. So remember that. 10:04. I'm waiting for you.
No, we're not even going 10:04. We're giving 10:03.
Okay, so we've changed it to 10:03.
If they have the ability to time travel, then
yeah, we'll know here shortly.
Doesn't matter. 10:02. This is the most. I might have to leave you.
You're gonna leave me alone to talk to these people?
You literally. It's funny that you mentioned that because it's 10:03.
Oh.
No, not.
Damn.
Do you want to wrap this up? Or
yeah, we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up.
I think we got to go quick.
Yeah, okay. So.
I got some poopy.
He's got some poopy.
I forgot.
Oh, that was the chair.
Oh, yeah, well, not me.
So, long story short, they're censoring everyone. And if okay, so here's for all you people who think that you're better than everyone who's being censored, I want you to Google someone. Maximilian Robespierre, sorry. Google him, look him up, and really, really think about it. And then you tell me if you think that they won't one day come for you. Maximilian Robespierre is a key figure in the French Revolution. And sense of irony anyway. But we will wrap it up there. Thank you once again for enjoying the Average Intelligence Podcast. I hope that after this you're a little bit less average and a little bit more intelligent. As always... Oh,
no, we're good.
Oh, you're getting ready to close her up. As always, if you enjoyed this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. We need the help because the YouTube algorithm is against small channels like us.
And don't forget to check out the sponsors in the link description.
Oh, yes. We forgot to do that. So they're both down there. Cool things coming from both. I can hit the button if you gotta. Yeah. Big dog poopy. If you would prefer to listen to the podcast as opposed to watch it, you can check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Now, Amazon, Audible, all those cool things. Stitcher, I think, is another one. But we're easy to find. Just Google Average Intelligence Podcast, and there will be a new website coming fairly soon. I don't have a date yet, but it's in the works for our entire little podcast network. And hopefully we will have an exciting announcement in October in podcast-related news. And as always, if you agree or disagree with us, leave a comment. We don't dismiss any comments. We try to respond to all of them. Sometimes we'll even respond to it on the podcast. Eric's pretty good about responding to people, though. So, Tune in next week. And now I have to disappear and turn it off.